Hey guys, it's Brittany. So today I'm going to do the So Bad It's Good movies tag. And this is my first tag video that I've ever done. But I'm I can tell that I'm gonna have fun with this. And thank you, Queenie, for tagging me. I'm definitely gonna have fun with this. Okay, one. What is so great about So Bad It's Good movies? Well, what's good about those movies is that even though they not be the kind of movies that everyone loves, and even though it may not have gotten a lot of attention, like when it probably came out in theaters, and it probably may not be the ones where it became like a big hit in the box office. Even though it may not be that, and may not be the kind of movies that have gotten any awards like Oscar awards, Academy Awards, anything like that. But yet, these movies somehow, even though they didn't probably exactly make it to the box office and didn't make it like such a big hit and all that, like I said, but yet somehow some of those movies are enjoyable to watch. Like as maybe as bad as they are, yet they are still in a way enjoyable to watch because I think maybe in a way we can't help but to watch those movies because it's like, okay, yeah, I don't like this, I don't like that, but yet I kind of like this. Like, I kind of like this movie because I probably like certain parts of the story or the characters. So, I mean, believe me, there are some movies I do like to watch, and some of those movies I never thought were like, oh, it's so bad, but it's good to watch. You know, I mean, because I never really thought of that. I don't know, but that's what that's what's great about those movies is that in a way they're still good and enjoyable to watch. Like no matter how bad it may be, or let's say if it's not too bad, if it's let's say somewhat bad, but it's okay. Like maybe if it could have done a bit better, then it's like yeah, okay, you know. So that's what's good about those movies is that they're still good and enjoyable to watch, even though they weren't exactly like big hits. You know, when they came out in the theater, you know, at the time when they probably did came out. But still, it's like, hey, you're still here. We'll still watch you. Don't worry. Two. What are some of your favorite so bad it's good movies? Okay, now I have to um I actually had to look at a list on the so bad but good movies and looking at the list on a certain website, I'm like, okay, some of these I can see why, but some of those movies are actually the ones I do like. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, so here are my favorites, and it says here from one to three. Okay, so I never really thought of this, not even as a kid, not even now, but my favorite, I have to say my three favorites are Batman Forever, Suicide Squad, if you want to count it as that, which I think it may be in that category because, you know, not everyone loved it when it came out. And of course, it didn't exactly got good reviews. I think it kind of did, but maybe not as much. And then there's Another Stakeout. If you don't know what Another Stakeout is, it's actually a sequel to Stakeout, and it's Another Stakeout has Richard Dreyfuss in it and Emilio Estevez, and they play these characters that team up. I think they're detectives, so they have to go on a stakeout. Um, but this is part two. So part two is called another stakeout. So I mean, yeah, even though that one may not be exactly great or anything, I mean, if you have seen it, you know what movie I'm talking about. But in case you haven't really heard of it, then maybe that's why. But yeah, I remember watching that, and yeah, I have to say, even though it's not exactly one of those movies where it probably got a lot of attention, maybe became a big hit, even though it wasn't a movie like that, still, I have to say, in a way, maybe there's could have been some things that could have been different, but I mean, it's still good to watch. And I find it funny actually. So, okay, so Batman Forever, Suicide Squad, and Another Stakeout. Those are my so bad it's good movies, favorite movies. And now with Batman Forever, that's a movie I've always loved a lot. My like one of my favorite Batman movies as a kid because I don't know. And here's the thing, to me, I don't really see it that way. I don't see it like, oh, it's bad, but it's good. Somehow I don't see it like as a bad movie like altogether. And I think the reason why because uh I just don't really see it that way because I actually love it. I just love how the movie is, like how it turned out and everything. But I think that's because what's different from this, from Batman Forever, is that it's nothing like the other Batman movies, where you got The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, and of course there's even um, Batman Returns, which I think that one is probably a bit more dark than Batman, but I think that's why it's my favorite because it's not at all dark. It has no dark tone to any of those other Batman movies. And somehow I just like this different tone to the movie where it's. What's the word for it? I'm trying to think of the word um, that's for the movie. I don't know how to put it, but you know how it's just different and everything. That's why. And to be honest, because now with Batman Returns, because it is a bit more dark than the first one, yeah, that's why that is not exactly my favorite. I'm not sure if you heard that, but someone just yelled from outside. But yeah, anyway, so that's why that's not my favorite. I mean, I do like it and all, but I think because it did went a bit dark than the first one, and because maybe I think there are certain parts in that one that to me I think was just a bit too dark in certain parts of the movie where I'm like, okay, it's a good movie, I like it, but not exactly my favorite. And of course, it's the same thing with the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. Like I do like those movies, and yes, I mean like not love because it's like I do like those movies, and of course I will watch them when I want, but it's uh it's a bit too dark for me. So to me, it's like when it comes to Batman and having the dark tone to those Batman movies, it's just not my cup of tea. But somehow, with Batman Forever, it is. It is my cup of tea because it's not dark at all. And and even though there are some people out there who hate it and say it's bad, and maybe to them it's bad for maybe their own, maybe personal reasons. But honestly, I don't see it that way. I don't see it like, oh yeah, it's bad, but it's good. I mean, it is in that category, but I don't see it that way because I love it. I really love Batman Forever. And for those who don't, please don't judge me, okay? Because this is my favorite personal Batman movie, my favorite one, and I grew up watching it, and because it doesn't have a dark tone to it, and because it has this different tone to it altogether, and because it does have a different cast than the other ones, I just love it. So don't judge me, and I won't judge you if you like certain movies that I probably don't like. So please respect. Um, please show respect on what movies that people like, don't like, or love, because we all have our personal favorites, and I think we all have our reasons why we love certain movies or why we just don't like. But anyway, um, and Suicide Squad is my favorite because I just love it. Like I just love the how Harley Quinn came to life on screen. And yes, it may not exactly be how many fans would have pictured her, like, especially, you know, um, the type of clothes she wore, which, well, yeah, I gotta admit that, like, that is a bit far off. But yet, I still love it. I still love the movie, the story and everything. And even with Another Stakeout, and like I said, in case you haven't heard of it, I think you should go watch it. And if you do watch it, and whether if you somehow may like it or don't like it, that's totally up to you. Sorry, I'm with the computer. So, I mean, honestly, when I first watched Another Stakeout, somehow I didn't got the impression like, um, eh, you know. I mean, somehow I did thought, okay, it's good, but maybe there's some things that could have been in there that maybe could have been different. Maybe certain things could have been a bit more funny, and maybe certain things could have been a bit more intense, as well. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I still love the movie. So those are my three favorite so bad it's good movies, and you know which ones: Batman Forever, Suicide Squad, and Another Stakeout. So, like I said, I think you should go watch that movie. It is good, it is funny, but like I said, if you somehow feel like you don't like it, that's okay. If you do like it, that's fine too. Okay, three. Would you rather spend a day watching so bad as good movies or comedies? That is a good question. I would have to say movies, and here's why: because at least with the so bad it's good movies, you got different genres of those movies you can watch. You got like action, comedy, romance, sci-fi, thriller, horror, anything like that. So of course you got different genres for those movies because there's so many to watch. So I think I would choose to spend my day watching it's bad but good movies, different movies on that. Cause yeah, I think there are some of them I do like, there are some I don't like, but then there are some I haven't even watched. I'm sorry. I had to look because somebody's car was going off on the horn. And no, it was a car alarm. I'm sorry. In case you heard the car alarm going off, that was from outside. So I felt I felt like in a way it kind of interrupted what I was saying. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying that I'd rather spend a day watching it's bad but good movies. Because like I said, you got different genres and you got so many of them that you can watch and so many to choose from. So, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. That there are some that I've watched, and there are some that I actually do like. There are some that are my favorites. There are some I don't like, but there are some that I haven't even watched. And I'm not kidding about that. There are some that I just haven't really seen before. And yeah, I would like to watch some of those movies so that way, once I watch it, then I could say whether I like it or not. Oh, yeah, I do remember watching this one movie. That's one of them. Um, what's it called? It's a shark movie though, and that's the whole thing. I don't like sharks. So anyway, I remember when I was in high school, because I was in my class, and believe it or not, I wasn't in my drama class because I did had drama. I was taking up drama in high school, but I think I was in math class, or was it? I don't know. I forgot. I think I was in my math class, and I don't know who suggested this. I'm not sure if it was a student or one of my teachers. I honestly don't know, but I think a student requested to bring a movie over, and the teacher's like, "Okay, so what movie is it?" And I think the student said, um, "I think this movie called Shark Attack 3." No, I think it's what's it called, like Megalodon Shark Attack 3, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And leave a comment below on exactly the name of the movie. But I think it's something like Shark Attack 3, something like that. But when they brought that movie over and it was playing in class, and I'm actually doing my work in class, I remember this one part which really scared me. And of course, this is one of the so bad it's good movies. But when this movie, Shark Attack 3 was playing on the TV in class, I remember I was doing my work, and I remember at some point when I looked up at the TV in class that this guy like was on a he was not on a surfboard. I don't know what you call it. Like you're still on the water in the ocean, but you're hanging on to something. I don't know. What is that? Skiing or something? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about that. But yet, I think when the guy fell off or something, all of a sudden this huge shark, a megalodon, just comes up like this with his mouth freaking wide open, and this guy just goes into the megalodon's mouth. Like it just goes in there. Like it swallows the guy whole. It's like a big giant cave in there. And believe me, when I saw that, especially the like, that scared me. And to me, it happened so fast, and I got so scared that I turned my head. And I'm like, what did I just saw? Like, no, 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 no. I don't like sharks. I've always been afraid of them when I was little, but besides that, I think that's one movie I don't want to watch. I'm sorry, like for those who probably love sharks and love shark movies, I'm not into sharks. They scare me. I I'm afraid of sharks. So I know. Even if I tried to watch that movie, I just wouldn't able to take it. I wouldn't have handle able to handle it because I'm like, no, 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 no. So that's one movie I will not be watching. Okay, four. What are some of your favorite underrated, undiscovered, so bad it's good movies, or generally films most people don't consider to be so bad it's good, but you do? Um, hmm. Well, I've told you my favorites, but I think the ones that might be underrated or undiscovered. Wow, that's a good question. Somehow I can't really think of a lot at the moment. I think I might think of one one though. Okay, I might have to look this up just so I can know when it came out. So I think the one movie that might be underrated or undiscovered that maybe no one even hears about as much, I would have to say a movie that I did watch maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, and that would have to be The Three Musketeers. And I know there are probably like different versions of that movie, but there's one that I have watched, which might actually be under that category, of the so bad it's good movies list. I think it might be on there. I think. Let me look it up. Trying to think. It came out somewhere in the 1990s. Yeah, around there. But it's a Disney movie, not a cartoon because I know there's the Disney cartoon one, with Mickey Mouse and all that. But that one actually came out somewhere in the early 2000s, somewhere on there. I think 2005, 2006. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that came out in the. When was it? It was. Oh, I need to look it up. It came out somewhere in the 1990s. Yeah, that's all I know. But this one is a Disney movie, but it's a live movie. Let me just say that it's not animated, it's a live movie. So hang on. Yeah, let me just look it up real quick on Wikipedia. Uh, Now, the reason why I think this movie could be on the so bad it's good movies because when I looked it up, it didn't really. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so it came out in 1993, the same year Jurassic Park came out, but so again, I was a year old. Okay, so yeah, that's the one. Okay, so that one came out, yeah, 1993. I think that one may not be heard of as much, so I think it might be somewhat underrated movie and undiscovered because I remember having this movie on VHS when I was a kid, and I remember watching it one time, but I probably didn't watch it as much. I mean, not because I didn't like it, just because the video, the video cassette was kind of like acting up, and yeah, that's why I thought, okay, I'm not sure how I can watch this if it's going to be acting up. So for so long, I've never really got to watch the whole movie. But I think it was until, what was it? I think 2 years ago or last year that I did watch it because it was on Hulu. And when I saw that it was on Hulu, I'm like, okay, I remember having this, on VHS, and I'm like, you know what? I never really got to watch the whole movie, so I'm like, I'm gonna I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take advantage of it and just watch the movie because I was just curious to see how the movie was, how the movie turned out. And oh my gosh, this video is like about 25 minutes. I'm sorry about that, but I'd say that is good. Now, of course, it's not great. It's not one of those movies that, again, didn't really won any awards, didn't got any, maybe special attention, to the media or to the audiences or critics. But yeah, I have to say, in a way, it is a good movie to watch. It is. Um, but yeah, you can look it up, you know, and if you ever want to watch it and see it for yourself, go ahead. I would actually consider watching it. But of course, it's not on Hulu now, but that was like a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe. And I'm sorry this video is a bit long. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think that's one of the underrated or undiscovered movies that maybe people wouldn't consider to be so bad, but it's good. Um, but yeah, I think in a way it is on that list, but like I said, it's still good. Um, and I think it's probably not heard of as much because I think in a way it's just been, I think in a way it's been maybe far off where no one really has ever thought about it because maybe no one has heard about it. Well, now you have. But I've only seen it once. But I still like it, like I said. Even though it wasn't like a big office hit or anything, it's still good to watch. Five, reenact or quote some of your favorite scenes in so bad it's good movies. Okay, I have one in mind. And this one I have in mind, it's of course it's from one of my favorite movies that I mentioned a bit earlier. Okay, so uh now in case if you have or haven't seen Batman Forever, I'm just gonna say it anyway. But I really love this scene in the movie and this quote, this line of what the character says. But when the Riddler, okay, so Jim Carrey as Edward Nigma, the Riddler, when he goes into the Batcave, and he goes in there and he's mocking the uh, alarm, saying intruder alert. Then he goes, "Shut up!" But the way he says it sounds more funny than how I said it. He turns around and he presses a button on his cane, and it turns everything on inside the Batcave. And he turns around and he has this look on his face like he's shocked. Well, in a way, it looks like he's in shock. Um, the face expression he does, which is priceless. And so he sees like the Batmobile, and it's turning like this, and that's why he has that face expression. And then after it shows the Batmobile, then it goes back to him, and he says, "Now that's impressive." And I love that. I love that line, and I love how he says it. And of course, I love other lines and quotes in that movie, but I'm not sure if I can exactly mention those other lines or quotes because then this video would be a bit longer. Okay, so I've done my first tag video and I had a lot of fun with it. So here are the people I'm going to tag next. I'm going to tag Bones. You know who you are. In case you have or haven't done this video, I hope you do. uh, okay, I'm trying to think. Who can I tag? Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. Now this video is about like 30 minutes. My gosh, I am so sorry that it's a bit longer than this. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't really, expecting to go on this long. Okay, so I will tag other people in the description below. And so, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this and enjoyed doing this tag video. It was a lot of fun, and I hope I can do more tag videos soon. And I promise if I do more tag videos like this, I promise it won't be too long. I promise it might be a bit shorter than this, so I'm so sorry about that. So that is all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.